you okay?
Hello, everyone. I'm glad you're on that first. Welcome to Harm's Way Podcast. This is your host, Craig. Across from me, as always, my brother, Eric. What is up, Eric?
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Did you suffer a stroke or something?
I did a little bit right there, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to,
mental relapse.
I didn't know you...
It's gonna
I
be
never
like,
know when it's coming.
Are you okay? Welcome!
It's
alright.
It's like being on the gallows. You never know when it's going to drop.
First time.
Yeah. Those fucking memes are great. Oh, man.
Anyway, yeah.
It's funny because that, movie it was from or whatever, I thought was complete dog shit.
Dog shit. Absolute.
That was dog shit.
Dog water of a movie. I was like, I'm gonna watch this because I heard, and to anybody listening, I forget, it's called
Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
I almost said Chester Shrubs, but okay. Yeah. It is probably, it was Netflix, right?
Did it?
One of the worst movies.
It was like an anthology or whatever, but didn't it have the part where the mining for gold, and the guy shot him?
Yeah.
I kind of liked that part. But
Dude,
the rest of it, I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I don't even know if I finished it, to be honest with you. I saw the James Franco part where he's on the gallows and he said, first time, and I literally used that meme for everything in my life because it's fucking hilarious.
There's a lot of that meme out there.
I know. But the rest of that movie, nobody ever talked about because it was like Netflix dirty little aborted child. Like, you sweep that shit under the rug.
It wasn't entertaining to watch at all.
It was painful to watch.
The part with the miner was really slow burn, but it was kind of cool. I guess it was the most mildly entertaining part of that whole thing.
To me, it was like a modern version of The Life Aquatic.
Oh, I remember that. Get to know the fucking Walter.
Movie.
He comes up, his eyes are all cracked out.
And I feel bad because a lot of people are like, dude, that was a great movie. And I'm like, are you fucking
I think maybe
blind?
we watched it when we were too young.
Yeah. I was Bill Murray.
Didn't really have any patience for it or whatnot, and I think maybe.
And I've done that too. I've gone back and watched shit that you and I shouldn't have watched when we were younger, and obviously it made a hell of a lot more sense, and it was a hell of a lot more entertaining now.
Yeah, like Schindler's List.
Oof.
Yeah.
That just got a shock value no matter how old you are. Honestly.
Actually, the first time I watched that, it was college.
Really?
Yeah.
Where he's stretching with the rifle on the balcony, smoking a cigarette, and he just starts picking people off. I'm like, wow.
It's a fucked up movie.
Yeah, the only thing, movie or cinematic value or whatever, that I thought gave you a closer peek into the life of
someone living through the Holocaust?
Well, someone in a camp, in the internment camps or whatever they want to call them, Nazi death camps, is that show we talked about on episode 3 on Netflix, The Hunters.
Oh, yeah.
When that gave flashbacks of, wartime.
Mm-hmm. There was, did you ever watch The Boy in the Striped Pajamas?
Yeah, that's, dude, yeah, that one.
I mean, a simple yes would have done well.
But that movie does not sit well
with
anybody.
I know.
Yes, I've seen that. And it's...
Yeah.
Dude, it's the whole... Holocaust in general. I mean, I don't want to really make this a topic, but...
No, we can move on.
It's, the whole thing is fucking horrible. But that Hunters gave you, the chessboard. You remember that part?
I don't remember much from it. Have to watch it again.
Yeah, rewatch that, because there's... The one that stuck with me was the Nazi general or colonel or whatever that literally had Jewish people as the chess pieces, and when they would take out a pawn or something, he would make them kill.
I think I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, that one. Oof.
That actually happened?
Oh, I don't fucking know. If it did, though, the problem with that era, I feel like a lot of shit like that did happen, but nobody...
I think that the part in Schindler's List where he was up on the balcony shooting people,
yeah.
Shit like that did happen.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that was a lot more realistic.
But you had...
Not an over-the-top.
The experiments on children and twins and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that was documented.
Everybody knows that.
The stuff with children is fucked up. But there was a scene in Hunters where one of the older couples, one of the main characters, they had a young boy who was killed by a a Nazi soldier, and that one like to the pit of my stomach because the boy that was running around was around the age of our child.
Did you see the one where
That fucking hit home?
I think it had Oscar Isaac in it, where they tracked down Eichmann in Argentina or wherever the hell he was hiding. They tracked him.
Yeah, South or Central South America somewhere. I do remember that.
That was a good movie. It was a really good movie.
But the premise of that era is nobody really knows.
It's like a mini Dark Ages.
Shit. It was the Holocaust was evil, coded evil with evil filling, and it was. I mean, you read stories that'll just have you in tears or making you wanting to vomit. It's just it was the worst. It was one of the worst periods of humanity, I think, for sure. There are others that are just as worse, if not worse. But
so yeah, my day's been good.
we're going from genocide to your how's your day? But okay, that's fine. Yeah, the Holocaust. Eric, how you doing today?
No, that's.
Did you legitimately have a good day?
Actually, yeah, I did.
Cool.
This week's been going well.
Do you think
got
it's because
an early? Well, I think I kicked the week off. I got an early start. Got to work at 5 yesterday.
Holy shit.
We've been fighting through some issues and whatnot, but it's like I'm focused on engineering.
Focus on building back better garage doors.
No, yeah, like nose to the grindstone.
Nine to the grind.
Jesus. Trying to focus on what I should be focusing on, and I think it's good.
You seem more at ease, more. I don't want to say at peace because we're at Harmon. There's no such thing as peace, but you seem more focused and more determined.
I feel better. Feel stronger.
That's good.
Like it just everything just feels stronger. I don't feel like I'm like weak and timid and cowering in the corner anymore.
Okay, I mean,
which is good.
I wouldn't use any of those words to describe.
A lot of time that's how it is. I just want to lash out.
Well, yeah, everyone's lash out.
But I want to lash out all the time.
Step in water next to my toilet. I know.
You didn't hold the door open for me. I'm gonna cut your fucking head off.
There you go.
Yeah. But no, it's I went and voted earlier.
Cool.
A little embarrassed to admit, but that's actually the first time I voted ever. That was fun.
Cool. Okay.
Why didn't you vote, Craig?
Who says I didn't?
Degenerate. Did you?
Maybe.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't. I didn't. I don't know. Insert excuse here. I'm fucking lazy. What do you want me to say? I didn't research any of the candidates. If I leave work to go vote, I'm not going back to work because
it's okay.
I'm trying not to. How you were?
What, when I was leaving for lunch and then not going back?
Well, no, just in general, how you had your sloping. I don't know what to call it, like attitude the past like month or two or whatever. I'm trying not to slip into that now that you're getting into a good place. Not that I was ever in a good place.
Yeah, we're like flip flopping again.
I know, and I don't want to do that.
Because you seem like you've been really.
The paper, the signatures, the ink's dry on the house, and everyone said the same thing. Like, oh, once you sign, shit's gonna start falling apart. And for the first 2 weeks, I was like waiting.
Wait for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah, and then I'm nothing. And then I take a shit when I get home today, and I step in water, and I think the toilet's going. Which, in the grand scheme of things, the toilet's not that bad. Toilet replacement, but it's in the half bath, which isn't finished, so it's gonna kind of like kick my ass to be like, oh, if I gotta rip the toilet up, I might as well lay the floor down that I got remaining. I might as well get a vanity and maybe $200, $300, $400.
Yeah, you were planning to do a shitload of that bathroom anyway.
Yeah, but I was trying to wait. Man. I'm just winter projects are winter projects. We gotta do. I'm gonna need your help for a bunch of things, but I don't know. I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm just I don't know. I'm just kind of chilling.
This is probably a bad time to tell you that I'm going to be spending winter in Paraguay.
Why?
No.
Paraguay?
Uruguay. That one.
Uruguay.
How do you say it? I don't know how to fucking say it.
It's Uruguay.
Uruguay?
Yeah.
No, I was looking at
They
like
just call it home.
I was looking at cost of living down there, and
No, Eric. You're not moving to
I'm
Central America.
not permanently. It would be sweet to like
you fucking
go somewhere for a few months.
You know they have machete fights for fun down there, right? Those people are.
You're thinking
screws.
of Brazil.
No, I'm thinking of that entire region.
Actually, Brazil's looking like it's ready to implode.
I don't, dude. I'm turning into. I like an agoraphobe. Like Ohio. Like I don't want to fucking leave Ohio. I used to want to travel and do this and that. Unless I do it for work, but I get so fucking scared of like all the weird shit. Like Mexico, everybody's like, oh yeah, let's. Like I got friends and family that goes, to Mexico all the time, and I'm like, no, fuck that. I could not go to Mexico.
The greatest thing you can do if you go to Mexico is buy drugs. It's the greatest thing you can do. You know why? Because the cartels don't kill their customers.
Oh my god, Eric. Don't even say that word. Like that word fucking makes me nervous. Like I can't watch Narcos and all that shit because to me, the sea people are just the worst.
The sea people.
They scare the shit out of me. Like I'm at Northeast Ohio and I hear like a trash can fall down outside and I'm like, it's the cartel! They're coming for me! For me. Who? How? It's just my irrational fears of bullshit. Or if I'm like, Rachel and I'll be driving and the same car will be behind me for an uncomfortable amount of time and I'm like, oh, it's the fucking cartel. It's just like that Netflix show I watched. It's so dumb.
You ever get somebody that like makes 3 of the same turns you do?
Yeah.
And you're like, they're following me. They're fucking following me.
And my hand's on my gun. Like I'm ready to fucking go.
I do that.
Like,
if you follow me through more than 3 or more turns, I'm already like, this guy's following me. I'm already picturing bombing into the driveway, running in, grabbing my gun, coming out.
Tactical somersault popping up around
just
the wheel
blasting through the bay window. Boom, 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 boom.
2 in the front window, 2 in the side window, back to the front window. Yeah, I had my hand in like the center console, and Rachel's like, "What are you fucking doing?" I was like, "This guy, man, it's not." It was a blacked out Suburban too. I was like,
"Yeah,
como se dice, fuck you."
I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
What the hell were we gonna talk about?
I don't know. Somebody needs to comment and let us know. I think it's what's your no. That's como te llamas. That's what's your name. Oh, it's how do you say? Como se dice? How do you say dick? You know, Craig. No. Yeah. Irrational fears.
Irrational fears.
Irrational fears.
So
we'll chalk that one up too.
Your irrational fear is the cartel.
Don't fucking say their name, Eric. God, the sea people. Say the sea people.
The sea people.
Yeah.
Are they like sea monkeys? There's a South Park.
I don't know where you want me to go. I know.
Sea monkeys plus sea people. Or no, it was sea monkeys plus sea men equals society.
Don't you remember Cartman's like, yeah, this guy gave me all the semen I needed. I just had to close my eyes and suck it through a rubber hose.
Yeah.
In the back alley.
He goes to the sperm bank. He's like, I need 3. And they're like, 3 vials? He's like, no, 3 gallons. And they're like, we don't have that much here.
What would possess them to think, let's make a show about mixing sea monkeys with semen?
I don't know.
And make a sea society.
Geniuses of our time.
Oh. Yeah, they are pretty dope.
Yeah, we're really losing out with them not like working for NASA or something.
And maybe that's like their fuck you. Like, hey,
maybe
I applied for an internship at.
Both of them are members of Mensa, and they're just. Is it Mensa? I think it's Mensa.
Isn't that what women get before their cycle starts?
No.
Is that menses?
I think Mensa is like the genius organization.
You know NAMBLA?
It's like being a National Honor Society, but you're a genius. What?
NAMBLA?
We're not gonna go there. Moving on. That was actually a real thing.
No, it wasn't. Like Epstein? NAMBLA? Like Man Boy Love Association?
That was actually a real thing.
No. Speaking of that, Nick Carter recently found dead in his house, Hollywood house, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I went back and I watched a couple podcasts with him in it because The one I watched, he was off his rocker with one. He was just...
Like drugged out and shit?
No, he might have been sober. He was just very confrontational towards the person that was having him on the show, who he had a previous, friendship with. And he was just not acting right. He gave out his phone number on a live podcast. People, this was from 2019, by the way. But I had no recollection of him throughout the past 2 decades. And obviously, he was, a huge success early 2000s. But he got on this podcast and started talking about how his brother's a rapist. His brother, who is a member of Backstreet Boys, Ben C's. It was just kind of weird. Like, I was trying to put myself in that place. Like, obviously, him being the younger brother, I'm like, I don't know if I could ever hate you enough to whether or not it was true to get on a podcast with hundreds of thousands of people listening, possibly millions, and just start blasting out how you're a rapist and all this stuff. It's really
How long
weird.
ago was this?
The podcast was from 2019. He did another one in early November, like 2 days before he was found dead in his place. They haven't released, or at least not yet, as of, what is today, Tuesday? They haven't released. I think it's an OD or he killed himself. The guy's been battling drug addiction in and out of rehab.
Yeah, it sounds like he was just like unhinged. Some of them do that.
Yeah.
You spend that much time in that world, they just become fucking.
Well, it was weird because he lost all this money because I guess his parents didn't pay his taxes when he was young and famous. And then rather than keep signing it over to be like their fault, he basically went like negative $4 million in the hole. And then did his own music, his own producing, released his own shit, did some investments, flipped house. He did a bunch of different stuff throughout the years. A lot of coke, allegedly. And then he basically built himself back up to like a $50 million net worth, which is pretty amazing.
Side note.
You go from -4.
Curiosity got the better of me. I looked at the YouTube metrics. Her average watch time is only 13 minutes.
That's all it takes. I told you people were either going to love us or hate us. YouTube is just there so people get a face to the voice, I guess.
Maybe we should just stick to audio then.
Well, no, YouTube. I feel like we could do more with YouTube. You just edit a video and dump it on there. And you told me to stop listening to it. The average might be for me because I told you how I'd never listen to a full episode on YouTube. I can only get so far and then I would turn it off.
Yeah, given the number of views we have.
But most people
could be you bringing it down.
Yeah, maybe. Fuck it. Mostly people do listen to us on the podcast platforms. That's at least the feedback I'm getting.
Yeah.
Which is that's fine.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't want people seeing
it's easier. It's just easier. Like, unless you got something you're doing for an hour.
Yeah.
That you can have it on its background. Like nobody's gonna really sit down and watch it.
I mean, if you really wanted to, you could.
This is more of just like
we could fluff that.
Laid back. We're not doing a news show or something, or
you could cut the YouTube videos in half and release them as half episodes if you really wanted to.
No.
It's kind of like fraud or embezzlement,
Well, that's what a lot of people that have their podcasts online. They'll take like a clip where they're talking about a certain thing. They'll clip that. Yeah. I'm trying to clip out what's funny and.
That's true.
Slappers.
I think we need the YouTube for, and I haven't, dude, I have not checked TikTok or anything. I still have 10 episodes or 10 clips to upload onto TikTok because I maxed this out for 2 days.
Really?
I found out that you can only put so much content on there before it
per day or per.
I think it's per day because I did it when you were here and then I stopped for about an hour, went back, did so many more, and then it cock blocked the shit out of me.
Do you know where you left off?
Yeah, I remember where I left off.
I scared the shit out of Dad yesterday. He was laying on the bed. I walked in and he got his bandage off. So he's got his Frankenstein wound just hanging out, flapping in the wind. I walked up and said, "Hey, how you doing?" And I like went like I was gonna fucking hit it, dude. He went like straight as a board, trying to get away from me. Yeah, in hindsight, that was a poor move.
Oh, we have a bunch of likes.
On what?
TikTok.
On the TikTok. Really? That's cool.
Oh, God.
Makes me feel good. What?
Bank Shots and Back Shots has 224 views.
Cool.
Blood Pressure Perfect has 386. Yeah, well, it's got around a little bit.
I like that it just kind of like throws it into the ether. And like people are scrolling through it, it's just pulling random shit out.
Corporate Carnage has 367. See, the funniest ones I haven't even put on yet.
I know. I was so heartbroken when I was over here the other day because you and I watched them all, and it just got better as you went down the list. So of course we started with the top of the list when we were uploading them, and then we got just shut down 10 videos in.
We went from 4 likes to 20 likes, and we went from 3 followers to 5 followers. So that's kind of cool. I gotta look. Let me look at these messages again. So,
shouldn't really be doing this while we're doing a show.
I don't give a shit.
Oh, well, this is gonna be a busted episode.
No, it's not. Well, I mean, we'll go through it. You can scroll now, though. It's full. I don't know. I'm pretty pumped.
You can scroll now.
Well, because we gained 2 followers that I don't know who they are.
The bots.
This one might be because it's a user 698520. The other one looks like it could be a person. I'll follow them back after.
Are they Chinese?
It's a cartoon, Eric.
Oh.
I don't fucking know. Yeah, they are. Does it matter? I'll take those bots. I don't give a shit either. Fuck them. No, thank you guys. If you're listening, thank you. Appreciate the likes, the loves. You just watched 1,000. We had 1,000 something views and only, what is that? 12 more, 14 more likes.
That was that entire list I gave you was only from like 8 or 9 episodes.
Yeah, that's.
I didn't go back through the whole thing.
That's what I mean. Now you're doing them.
Mostly because I'm lazy.
You're doing them 1 week at a time, right? Trying to pull as many as you can.
Trying to.
So we're gonna have, in hindsight, you give us 2-3 more weeks, we might have
every week. There's probably gonna be like 9-10 videos going out.
Yeah, we'll have over 100 on.
Which we could always dump those on YouTube too.
We got some likes on Instagram.
We could dump those on YouTube as well. Just so people don't have to sit through the whole thing. You can just see the funny parts.
Yeah.
Why not?
It's a good idea.
I'll put that out for another 3 weeks.
Procrastinate the shit.
There was one night I went home after the show and I was like, I gotta do this episode, and I just crashed. Next thing I know, I'm waking up. It's 5 a.m. I'm like, shit. There's some episodes that I edited and uploaded or edited at like 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
Because I woke up and then I was like, I exported it and I'm like, I'll leave you there and I'll upload you when I get home from work.
See, most people are listening to us. The benefit of most people listening to us on the podcast platforms is that gets posted right after we're done here.
And you got people like Gary. Monday morning, he's got to be at work at 3.
Does he listen to us every Monday morning?
I don't know, but I know this week.
Oh, Care Bear.
Well, on Mondays he has a special task he has to do. He has to do some pre-startup special task on one of the lines. So on Mondays,
it's called not burning.
He has to be there at 3. So he's up 2 a.m. We posted it 5 hours beforehand or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had mentioned it to me yesterday.
What's
and
good?
I was like, wait a minute, you already watched it? And he's like, yeah, I was here at 3 a.m.
It probably takes him an episode length to get to work, maybe? No, probably 40 minutes.
Yeah, he's probably about 40 minutes. He's about as long as I am.
Is that what you guys do?
His commute is about as long as I am.
Not much better. You guys are in the car, same time, comparing lengths. That's not what I meant.
I totally stroked out there.
It's all right. Just a couple weird.
We should
jokes.
Carpool, but I'm so inconsistent about when I go into work.
Yeah.
He's got to be there. Him and the other guys, they show up at like, I think anywhere between. I think they got to be there at 6.
Except on Mondays.
Yeah, I think they got to be there at 6. There are days I show up at 4 a.m. There's days I show up at 9. Like Monday, I I was at work for 12 hours on Monday, so today I slept in a little bit because I was just beat. We get into these, start having issues, start troubleshooting and shit, and you walk out of there at 5:30 or whenever I walked out of there, was still no answers.
Next thing you know, you're 66 and they're throwing you a retirement pizza party.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. I don't
That's sad.
I don't want to trigger old Eric.
Just threw up in my mouth a little bit. We need to do more pizza parties, though.
No work?
Yeah. We don't do enough pizza parties. I was trying to convince my manager that whatever we budget for next year, as far as projects go, we take 1%, we dump it into an R&R budget. One of the places I interned did that. One of the engineers had a handshake deal with the CEO long before I arrived that 1% of all contracts would be dumped into an R&R fund.
Huh.
He was the one that set up the Steam account for us, like a company Steam account, and he started buying like those games that you could play with like 5 people where you work together and shit. Like there was the one we were like the bridge crew of like a starship. We were like fighting aliens and shit. So you had one guy on the engines, you had one guy on the weapons, and one of our interns, I really liked him. I started calling him Weapons after that. And I thought that was just like the most badass nickname. And we'd be out at the test pad, and I'd be like, Weapons, bring that over here.
So do you know there's a direct correlation between amount of pizza parties and how great a place is to work?
Is there?
No. I just made that up.
Imagine there'd be like a bell curve. Like if you're having a pizza party every day, people would probably
It's a joke because companies use a pizza party as an excuse to not fucking pay you often. Or at least in my mind. This could be skewed a little bit, but I worked for a place that was like every time something bad would happen, they would have a pizza party to distract us.
There was a lot of... Anytime the executives were having a meeting, of course, I if you haven't figured it out by now, I used to work where Craig works now. Whenever there was an executive...
I think all 7 of them figured that out, but yeah.
Probably. Whenever the executives would have... When they'd come in, they'd have a meeting or whatever. They'd have food. Whatever's left over, it just... Like I said, they'd round it up and take it to some department. There was like 3 ladies that were responsible, and they would like take turns rounding up all the extra food and taking it to whatever department.
Yeah.
I don't think were communicating with each other very well, because there was like 5 times in a row where it came down to our department where we got the extra food.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And then like
the breakfast one was the best.
They would have the KFC food catered in for when... That was like a safety thing. That was like a safety lunch or something. And that was for like when we did really good, which we did. We did a good job with that. Well, most of us did. I remember like the first month I started working there, my manager's manager and the lab supervisor were using a torch to cut an axle in half on the forks of the high lift. Remember that. In hindsight, I should have reported them to OSHA. But anyway.
Don't deserve to.
If they did that in front of me nowadays, I would report their asses to OSHA immediately.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so
It's all right.
safety lunches, executive meetings, a whole bunch of shit. There was one summer there where there was so much free food flying around.
Well,
and when I say the safety lunch, I mean, we got like pans of chicken fingers left over. Pans of this shit.
Well, what's the good chicken? The one was Mission Barbecue. That's the good one. Because they always order way too much pulled pork. Pulled pork, that's like...
As far as, I wouldn't say they were like...
But they do, around Christmas time, people start bringing in cookies and goodies and candy, and everybody gets in the mood.
You'll get vendors that do that too. Or like places that we work closely with on things.
But the problem is...
They'll bring in candies and shit.
I'm in the far kitchen, and everything is up front. My desk is by the far kitchen. So, a lot of times, the ladies don't want to walk that stuff all the way back, because they're fucking lazy, and everything gets left in the front kitchens with all the, shitty HR people, and the people with IBS, and the people that just eat all that stuff up and never tell us. They'll never say, "Oh, there's stuff in the front 2 kitchens."
But as far as
some people do walk the stuff back to our kitchen
as like
first. I appreciate you.
The comment you made about the fuck. My mind is a pile of shit. The comment you made about when something bad something bad happens, they have
to
a
distract
pizza party.
you. Yeah.
It's not when something bad happens. There's just free food floating around all the time.
No, I'm talking about my old place that I worked at. They instilled, or they brought back mandatory overtime, mandatory weekends, pizza party right before all that. They cut our health insurance and doubled up the price. Pizza party. They laid off. Pizza party. They did all the. Every time we had a pizza party, we knew somebody was either dying or our benefits were getting cut. They did profit sharing. Profit sharing got cut by 66%. Pizza party.
Did they arrange the pepperoni so when you open up it says "fuck you"?
No. They probably spit on the pizza, and it was not good pizza, Eric.
Well, when I was at
armpit pizza.
When I was at Stark Trust, there was a deal struck that if we didn't have any recordables for the month.
Yes, yeah, I remember you telling me.
You get a pizza party, and
Mr. Pizza Party.
We had that one dumb fuck that.
Yeah, that was what he lived for.
When he got the shard through his hand, I didn't want to fuck up the pizza party. It's like, dude.
So he went home and got infected.
Got a $4,000 ER bill.
Yeah, well, that's
No, this guy was like, if you met this guy, he wasn't all there. He was.
No, not if you're living for a work pizza party.
He was just like, I don't think he was like mentally ill. I really do think like his IQ was just that fucking low.
Yeah, I can believe it.
I think there's a difference between being mentally ill and just being straight up deficient.
Yeah. Well, and then there's just stupid people that are what.
That's what I'm saying. Just stupid fucking people. It's a gradient, right? And like I think you can have somebody at the lower end of that gradient who's not schizophrenic or depressed or anything like that. They're not suffering from a mental illness. They're just fucking dumb.
Yeah. I worked with this guy at the same place every time there was a pizza party or some type of party because we were unique because as a department we could if we wanted to have like a shared lunch or something, somebody would do it. We'd do like a cookout. Everybody bringing buns, plates, drinks, and we would do that aside of the pizza party because we knew the pizza party meant death or dismemberment. We would have our own cookouts and stuff. Well, this guy every time he would the rule was what you brought if there was leftovers, you take it home. But this guy would park around back towards the door where we had the collection of stuff, and he would start sneaking stuff out to his car.
Yeah, we had a guy like that.
And he would take it home to feed his family. And we had a talk with him after, literally years of this happening.
Talk with him? With pipes?
We had a talk.
Bricks?
No. We said, hey man, what, none of us are well off or rich, but you obviously can't pull out and you have a lot of kids. Is everything all right? Do you need help? Like you're stealing this shit. And like the one was, he took like 4 whole pizzas home because it was left over from the pizza party. And we were stuffing that shit in our fridge that we had in the back, and we would eat that for lunch the next. He took it all home.
Yeah.
He took drinks that he didn't bring in. He took them home. He had bags of chips. Took them home. He had a pasta salad, macaroni salad. Took all this shit home, and he never asked anybody.
Well, like
he just fucking did it.
Those pans of chicken.
Yeah.
Like, we had shitloads left, and we'd shove them in our fridge, and you'd have 5, 6, 7 people the next day that would be making another plate.
Yeah.
This guy walked out with one of those, just chock full, and I was like, yeah, you shouldn't do that. And he just kind of side-eyed me and kept walking. I'm like, you fucking prick.
See, I took a I took a pan of the Euro Gyro home because nobody wanted, or Papa Euros. Papa Euros, great fucking Euros. Nobody wanted it. Everybody said, hey, this won't keep over the weekend in the fridge, so whoever wants to takes it home. And it was around the holidays, and by 5 o'clock everybody's gone. So I was like, hey, if anybody doesn't want this, I'll take it.
Yeah.
And nobody wanted it. Like I actually asked everybody.
Yeah.
So I took, and it was a half full giant tray foil pan full of Euro meat. So I was like, fuck yeah. But my department was the last one there, and we kind of divvied up all of it. Somebody got a big thing of rice, and we kind of shared it.
Yeah.
And, like, filled the thing up. But yeah, this guy, during the hot months, July, August, you know, we were next to the powder coating ovens.
Yeah.
It got really hot in there. So the safety coordinator constantly kept buying us popsicles.
Mm.
And we had a small fridge in the way back corner that we would had a freezer and we would keep popsicles. You get hot, you get lightheaded, you get a popsicle. Well, this motherfucker was taking them home.
Mm-hmm.
Every time. He didn't even like try and divvy them up or like take half. Like he would take giant bales of these popsicles home. Just fucking throw them in his car, take them home. And then finally, like, and he would do it in like weird times and like weird ways that nobody saw him. We just knew. Finally, we asked him. We said, "Hey, you know,
you want to get your legs broke?
You prick. Are you taking the popsicles home?" And he denied it. Denied it for the longest time. And then finally, he came clean after a year. And he was like, "Yeah, I've been taking all the popsicles home. My kids love them." Well, your kids aren't fucking sweating their dicks off. They're hanging grading, you know. Just people like that. I just. Yeah. He did a bunch of goofy shit.
We got this big oven at work, and I bought the guys cooling vests.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I bought it for the guys that work on my line, and then like it was pretty much just for in the summer if they got to go in that oven, because sometimes they'll have to go in that oven for like it's like 140 degrees in there, and they'll have to go in there for like 45 minutes at a time or whatever. So it was really funny because eventually I'm out walking around on the floor, and I see a couple line techs from the other guy's line walking around with the vests on. And I was like,
their own?
No, I wouldn't ask. So I said, "You gonna get them vests now?" He's like, "Yeah, they love them."
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We did that when I was at
see the stuff like that.
When I was out
help
west,
people out.
when we were working in the desert. You know, some of the testing we did, I had to wear a Tyvek onesie.
Dude,
you can't wear that in the desert in the summer without some kind of cooling apparatus, or you're just fucked.
Yeah.
You're just flat out dead. Dude, I remember coming back to the shop, I'd take it off, my jeans were just soaked. And I didn't know it until I took them off.
Yeah.
Like just everything just aspirated and
you
got stuck and then soaked.
It's weird when like none of your skin feels like air running across it.
Mm.
We had to wear them when we were in the paint booth for powder coating. You had your fucking... So like none of your skin was exposed to air for hours. You'd take it off and it was like, you're 10 pounds lighter, easy. But your clothes are also 10 pounds heavier for a fucking reason.
It's really fucked up looking back, because I did all that shit. Like fueling bombs, basically, in the desert. And I was only paid like $7.25 an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of fucked up.
Yeah, I made $13.40.
That's the difference between 20-year-old Eric and 29-year-old Eric. Is like, I won't put up with that shit anymore. When
I first started at the place...
When you're in college, you're all naive and bright-eyed.
Yeah. At the place that I was talking about previously, I started there at $10. My first raise was 40 cents. And I don't know what I left there with. I think I left there at like, what's that, like $16. No, $15. It was not much, but I was in the office. I worked my way up.
When you're...
I know I was making $700 and something every 2 weeks, which is not good.
No,
not at all.
Well, I mean, when you're given a raise and it's 40 cents.
And I talk to people constantly that are still with that company, and they're like, "Oh, Craig, you got to come back. You know, they redid the pay structure system. They did this and that." And then I ask them, I'm like, "Okay, well, it's been 7-8 years since I've worked there. You're still there. What are you making?" And they're like, "Oh, $18 an hour." And I'm like, fucking a decade, you haven't made $10. Like, to me, a decent raise back then was trying to achieve $1 a year, which in some places, that's not obtainable. But if that was my goal, I set, and I was making my way there for a while, but then I'm like, no, I'm not. I would not go back there.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think that's the only place I've ever left that I hated.
Really?
Thinking back, well, besides retail, obviously, retail. My last job that I came from. I mean, well, first of all, forgot to tell you, this Monday was my 2 years at where I'm at.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I should have known that.
Yeah.
We are at that time of year again.
My job before, I really loved. It was 100% commission. I made a killing. But it was just the physical aspect, and then the not being.
It's been
home.
2 years.
Yeah.
I thought you moved right before I quit.
Moved where?
To where you are now.
We moved here about 8 months ago.
I meant your job.
Oh.
Jesus fuck.
You said where you're at now, and I'm like, we're in my basement.
Your job you're in now. The role you're in now.
No, because
you've been there a year or 2 years.
Next Monday is a year at my current position.
Okay,
because
that's what I thought. Because you moved jobs right before I quit.
Not right before. It was I want to say like a month or two, because I remember you coming in and seeing my desk and shit and talking to me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
right before I gave my exit interview for the
So
Ages.
you're coming up on a year being gone.
It's pretty cathartic, when you're quitting and you're just like, hey, listen, you fucker.
No, it definitely left an imprint, because I talked to that lady a couple weeks ago.
Well, obviously it didn't leave an imprint because they fucking ghosted me again.
She said that was the most intense meeting she's ever had.
I wonder if she thought I was going to hit
her. No. She said I said, well, I hope you...
No, it's like, I think people...
I respected his point of view, and she said he was the most honest person I think I ever could have met.
I hope... And this is the thing, like... There's no, probation period or anything to, feel out how somebody's going to be. In full-time jobs and whatnot. I know, in hourly jobs and frontline jobs, they might have a probation period or whatever. But, with salary and shit... Just weeding out toxic people. Toxic personalities, egotists, people who can't work with others, people who want to... There's no screening of that shit. I mean, you go to HR and you complain and shit like that, and then nothing gets fucking done.
Well, I don't think people value the chemistry of departments as much as... Everybody always uses the same cop-out. Like, oh, we're not here to make friends. We're not here to make... That, to me, is the biggest cop-out, because...
Well, I agree with that.
I don't have to be your friend, but I have to feel...
But you have to be a team.
I have to feel like the person I'm working around, and I have decent enough chemistry that they're not going to want to kill me, and I don't want to murder them in their sleep.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we got to be best friends.
I'm in the camp of I
we can't be enemies.
I would prefer not to be friends with my coworkers. It's hard because I meet some great people and whatnot.
Some of the closest friends I've ever met.
Look at the guys from Mythbusters. Apparently they fucking hated each other, but they worked together and put out a great show for 20 years.
Well, they weren't making the same money. Money was why they hated each other. Those guys weren't making all... One of them was making a fuck ton more money than the rest of them, and
I didn't know that.
They found out. Yeah. But they also, they didn't have...
Just take the fucking analogy. That's what I think of. Okay, yeah, we don't have to like each other, but we have to work together. We have to be a team and whatnot. But, yeah, just...
But that's not valued. I don't think it's never been
it's
valued.
Not, because usually
and it's never been looked into, because people think...
Well, it's
all personalities.
It's like what we talked about before.
Well,
usually the people that are the problem areas that nobody wants to work with, they're usually people that are higher up. And they can't get rid of those people. And, I mean, I feel like if you can't...
I don't think they care.
If you can't... No, they don't, because they make fuck tons of money. They make fucking 10 times...
Brings us right back to that one episode that we talked about.
But
how do you fix that?
Let's not get into it again. I don't want to get into it again.
We're just, just the tip.
But
that's all we're doing right there.
A lot of that exit interview was, just shedding light on some really cancerous motherfuckers. But
it's the same thing though. I mean, I had quite a few meetings with those people on my 3 months, 6 months, 1 year.
What's funny is
nothing ever happened.
So full disclosure, I applied for a job at same company, different location, and I got ghosted. I emailed that fucker back like, "Hey, you got an answer for me? Like you said I'd know within a week," and I gave him a few weeks, just because how everything is now, and he didn't even respond.
So I personally think that our HR department is run by the most incompetent, overpaid pieces of shit in the world. And I don't
know. Where I'm at would give you a run for your money.
Dude, hold my beer. Because these people are fucking mouth-breathing window lickers. And
I mean, they're...
I don't know, dude. I literally talk about this with other people that I work with, and they give me examples of them, knuckle-dragging, doorknob fucking, stupid shit.
I called the one guy, the one we all can't fucking stand. I called him a fucking cancer right to the plant manager's face. That felt really good.
That's good.
But even like...
At a certain point, though, you gotta realize there's only so much painting of the target on your back you can do. There's only so much sticking up for everybody that you can do before it gets your ass.
What I said is once you start crossing into indignification, then it's like, I'm not gonna put up with it. And I feel bad for people on the floor because like they have to put up with it. And that's not right.
So moving on, I'm actually gonna pull something from the list that I've been fucking writing for 3 weeks.
We gotta talk about swingers.
Oh.
What do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about?
I mean, can we do swingers in 14 minutes?
No. I don't think so.
I was just gonna hit with a light topic, clip or mag.
Like calling it a clip versus calling it a mag.
What's a clip and what's a mag? Let's define. And because this is also...
I really don't care.
Oof, I do.
I really don't care anymore.
This is a trigger.
I don't.
Triggering scenario for me, 100%.
You gotta find better triggers.
Well, I have a friend. I don't get a friend, and I'm not gonna shit on him because he's a great guy. Just purchased his first AR. He bought it secondhand from somebody. He's very happy about it.
Is this somebody I know?
Yeah, somebody you know. And he was explaining to me, showing me pictures, and it just so happens the brand that he got was one of the ones that it was one of the big three when I was kicking around buying mine, and you and I had talked about. And he had said something to me, and he said, "Yeah, this is where the clip goes," and I fucking I didn't lose it, but I cringed pretty hard. And then he hurried up and retracted. Oh, Mac, and we moved on.
I think the reason I don't really...
But he was former military.
The reason I don't really care anymore is because...
what do you think a clip is?
Well, I think of like when somebody says 45 Colt versus 45 long Colt. A bunch of old timers get a real bug up their ass when people say long Colt. I think it's just my disdain for boomers and old people that I eventually got to the point where I was like, I don't want to be like them. Call it whatever the fuck you want.
I only know 45 ACP and 45 long Colt. That's the only 45 I know.
If you say 45 Colt or 45 long Colt, because 45 Colt is what they used to say back in the day.
Well, 45 ACP is automatic Colt pistol.
Yeah.
If I hear 45 Colt, I think 45 long Colt.
It doesn't fucking matter. Yeah.
Because there's a short, too. So you got to keep that in mind. There's a 45 short Colt.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
You want to look that up?
I'll go after the show, but I know I'm right. It's like 38 short. There's... Yeah, I'll look it up right now, Eric. Calm down.
Just look it up. So I've never heard 45 short Colt.
45 short Colt. The long and short of the 45 Colt. It's old, but it's like 45 long was like that was meant to be the lever action version, and then 45 short was meant to be the revolver, but they ended up chambering it and or you can chamber it in both, and people just the 45 long held on because it was more pack, more punch.
I'd like to get
I know my guns.
I'd like to get a 45 Colt revolver. Yeah, why not?
Well, you can buy the AAU Birdie. Was $3.99. It was
thinking like a Ruger Vaquero.
Mr. D bought back in the day. He bought it for like, actually it was $2.99 because I think I told him to go get it. And then he came over and bought a case of 45 Long Colt lead from me, and I think 45 Long Colt is still $49.99 for 50. It's an expensive round.
You might want to look that up.
I'm pretty sure it's over $1 a round, Eric.
I'm pretty sure I can find better deals than you.
Probably. That was at, I don't know if I can say
Actually,
it was called Prick's Sporting Goods back in the day.
We were actually talking about ammo at work the other day, and it sounds like
I haven't
the
looked.
consensus is shit's starting to cut. Like,
I hope.
More like the hunting cartridges and whatnot are coming back down. Could just be because of hunting season. There's more out there. I don't know.
Well, good luck finding, 45 Bushmaster. If you had
4570 Gov,
450 Bushmaster,
I was told was being found for $30 a box.
Don't buy.
And I was like, usually that's like $2.
Don't ever buy a 4570 though.
I'll buy whatever the fuck I want.
You're not. No, you're not. Yes.
I'm gonna come over here with a fucking Barrett M82 one day.
Trat. And do what, Eric?
I don't know. Shoot through some.
Be like, look at my poverty. Oh, now I can't afford a fucking house. Get out of here, you fucking donor. I can't buy a truck.
Fucking house?
Let me mount this on my Honda Civic. Get the fuck out of here.
That would be fun.
Eat shit.
I don't have a sunroof though.
Mad Max Beyond Thunder Home. Because you'd be living in it.
It is kind of dome shaped. It's a hatchback.
Shut the fuck up.
Mad Max Beyond Thunder Home.
Because you're living in it.
I'll make a rap video while we're at it. Living in my Civic.
I do want a rapid fire one of those so fucking bad, but it's like cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. I don't even know what
fucking thing weighs like 34 pounds.
What's 50 BMG going for? $6 a round?
$250 a round.
Really?
Yeah. You can find it from places like SG Ammo and whatnot online.
So I'd be firing it.
I say what not a lot. I gotta stop doing that.
My pants would be getting tighter each pull of the trigger.
There's a.
Oh, I had a thought. I do need to get more 223. Do you have 450 Bushmaster?
Yeah.
Do you have the hunting rounds?
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of them?
What do you mean hunting rounds? What's
the rounds we use to hunt with? Winchester deer season or whatever.
Yeah, but they're
the shitty lead tipped, aren't they?
Yeah, they're lead tipped. They're not the. I think I have a couple boxes of the FTX that has the polymer tip.
Can I borrow a few for when we go?
Yeah.
Okay.
You borrowed some from me last year.
I know. You're like my ammo.
They were rolled around in your car for like 6 months, and I was like, Craig, I'm taking these back. You're not gonna fucking use them. They're expensive as fuck.
You're like my ammo pack mule. Like, I'll be like, except I'm not taking any more 223 or 5.56 from you. But I still have
tell you about
the 50 rounds you gave me.
Back in like
Christmas.
This was maybe April, May time frame. So I get on Rural King's site. Did I tell you about when I found it was like 2 in the morning, and I get on there, and they had Hornady Frontier 223, 55 grain, for $7 a box.
Oh yeah, you
and
told me.
I stared at. I'm just sitting there staring at my screen for like 20 minutes, thinking this is a mistake. This is no, this can't be right. So I, clicked on it. I'm like looking at it. I was like, all right. So I bought 800 rounds.
Yeah, but it never went through, right?
No, it did.
But you never got the ammo.
No, I got the ammo.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
What I think happened, what I think might have happened, because a lot of these sites that you get on, if you see something on there that's out of stock, it may still have the price on it from before the boom.
Oh, yeah.
So I think they threw it on there and said we have it in stock, and didn't update the price. So for some time, because it was like 2 days later, it shot up to like $15 a box, and I was like, it didn't show it on sale or anything either.
Yeah.
They'll show the price crossed out with the sale price. Didn't show that. It just said 7.
What I heard,
I was like, somebody probably got fired for not updating that shit.
What I heard, this was Rural King, right?
Yeah.
What I heard was they got 2 pallets of that ammo in to wherever it's being held to sell it online. Those 2 pallets sold in about 2 hours. You were one of the people that got some.
Who'd you hear that from?
That was somebody who religiously shops at Rural King.
See, that's the thing. Like, for the
because
longest...
they heard about it because that old guy back there that runs that is his friend.
From, like,
so I'm assuming
end of 2020 to probably up to about 3 months ago, I was literally checking their site like 10 times a day. If I'm shitting at work, I'm on their site. Because I remember when they had nothing as far as rifles. In the first page, it would be, the ones at the bottom would be out of stock.
Yeah.
They'd have 4 or 6 rifles, no ARs. And I remember just over time slowly watching them get stuff back in stock. And, yeah, fucking 2 years of a drought.
Is that kind of, I need to,
all of 2021.
I need to shoot my 450. Because remember I told you I put it away and I took it out for us to go and the scope rattled?
Yeah.
So now I need to shoot a few to make sure I'm on at like 50 yards. Yeah. That gun is just a burden. I need to get rid of it and get a setup like you do, or just go back to shotgun hunting. Because I'm not sold on 350 after what Mitch and I saw. 450.
I don't know. Like,
we can't fucking shoot one. We can't get within a distance to shoot one to see what the 450 will do. Everyone I talk to, oh, you smack them, they fucking go down. Okay, well, how about we just get close enough to shoot one this season? That's all I'm happy. Or all
shoot something. See a turkey walking by.
No, not with a 450 Bushmaster.
Yeah, put it down.
But I need to be comfortable enough with mine to make sure that I can hit.
It hit it so hard it turned it into a turkey.
Even with that shit ass True Glow scope I have, but I'm pretty sure we were holding zeros at 100 with that when we went.
It wasn't bad. I think my grouping, I say it wasn't bad.
But you got a Vortex scope on it too.
But my grouping with that round was definitely within the kill zone.
Mine too, yeah.
I was shooting, what is that?
But also that's a hard
MOA or something.
That's a hard round to sit there and every fucking time. Especially mine. My recoil reduction system sucks. Yours actually has one. But mine's just basically a free-floating fucking
Well, yeah, we were also shooting from the bench.
I need to bust out my muzzleloader. Because honestly, I'd rather scope up a muzzleloader. I don't know. We'll fuck around. We'll figure it out. I don't really have a designate. We have 2 shotguns between us, 2 rifles between us, and 1 muzzleloader.
2 rifles?
4 rifle, my rifle. Both have 450 Bushmasters there.
Yeah, if you're talking
Mine's just the budget one, and yours is the bougie.
I wouldn't say it's that bougie. I don't like the plastic stock. It's really cheap feeling, and
yours
it's actually really kind of flimsy on the butt.
Feels way better than mine. Mine, you just feel like you're holding a stick that can fuck you up. But again, I get that scope cranked down. I think I'm good to go. I would like to put a couple shots through it. I don't know where. I thought about taking it to Ohio Outdoor and just having him do a quick bore on it, because I think that's what I did before.
Yeah,
and then it's like $11. It's super cheap. I might have him do that. I need to fucking swab it and make sure it's all good.
I want to get a project lower so I can start buying uppers.
Well, see, now that's the next thing I thought about. Is
upper receivers, not drugs.
It's all right. We take downers. And then I would like to, do a 450 build that I could use for hunting too. But a separate. There's just so much shit.
Well, I had a. Did I ever show you my shopping cart on Optics Planet?
Yeah.
I added it all up. There's like $5,000 in there, and one of them. Not that. Yeah, never mind. I had a 458 SOCOM upper, a 50 Beowulf upper, and a 410 upper.
410 would be interesting.
410 would be, yeah. But Great Lakes Firearms sells a 458 SOCOM pistol, and they do a custom distressed Cerakote job on it. I really want it. Damn. I really.
See, you still haven't even shot your pistol. You had a pistol, have you?
No.
How many rounds of 300 Blackout you got? You don't have an optic on it.
300.
You have 300 rounds.
Yeah.
And you don't have an optic on
That's
it.
one. That's one caliber that. It's better now. You can get like Western Montana or one of those smaller outfits. You can get it for, I think I saw 55 cents a round the other day. But for the longest time,
7.62 by 35. 7.62
by 45.
You sure?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's basically the 5.56 case, but it takes a 7.62. Maybe it's 35. You might be right. Craig's frantically searching because he wants to be right.
I so badly want to be right. It hurts.
Dude, just go to Wikipedia.
Oh, baby.
It'll fucking tell you. Is it 35?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
You're a cunt.
And I am on Wikipedia, but it's 300 AAC blackout, also known as 7.62 by 35. 40 would be way too big.
I thought it was 45 because it was
45 way too big.
It came out of the. I don't know. Fuck it.
Parent case is 221.
But yeah, that was a caliber that was pegged at like a buck 10 a round for a long time.
Yeah. What's it? It's a goofy round.
Round?
It's a goofy round. It's a goofy round in the grand scheme of things, because it's just like a brick shit house round, but it suppresses so well.
Yeah. And
you get a nice flat trajectory out of it, and it fucking smacks like a hammer in between 500 to 0 yards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sexy round.
It's a bigger. You look at it versus 2.23, and it's like, yeah, you're dealing with a much bigger round with comparatively not a lot of ass behind it. So if you're within 100 yards, you're golden. But
doesn't fly as fast.
The ballistics after 100 yards, it's just shit. But
it's good for home defense because remember, it's not flying fast, but your close quarters, you're killing whatever you're hitting with it. Easy.
Did I tell you about?
But it does not fly fast.
Did I tell you about Clint Smith from Thunder Ranch ranting about it on James Reeves from TFB TV, TFB the firearm blog?
Yeah.
He's got a YouTube channel. I love watching his stuff. And so he was at Thunder Ranch interviewing Clint Smith. Clint was fucking going off about 300 black eye or whatever about the ballistics and whatnot. But he also said he's like average engagement 60 yards. And it's funny. You should watch when he starts ranting about that shit. But
most people wouldn't know what I was laughing at there. But that's funny.
Yeah, he's an old Vietnam vet. And just like a lot of the stuff he says,
his average engagement was closer than 60 yards.
The pieces of advice that he gives, it blows your mind. But it's the simplest stuff that like it wouldn't really hit you unless you were like in a combat situation or something.
Yeah.
And like he was.
Yeah.
In a lot of combat situations, so he'll say these things, and it's like in the back of your mind, you're like, well, duh, but it kind of just blows you away because
you know
it's coming from experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when he said that, he goes, I don't understand why.
Like when you shoot
one MOA at 500 yards, it's like whatever. Average engagement 60 yards, dumbass. You know.
That's funny.
Yeah, and he was talking about one video where he was talking about using large caliber rounds when you're in like your house and whatnot. He goes, yeah, sure, you can use that. You're going to come around the corner, see something, and go, bang! Ah! He's fucking hilarious. But yeah, he gives some really good advice, though. Like I said, that like at face value, you're like, that makes perfect sense. But it's backed up because all of his experience shooting, tactical shooting, being in combat, everything. It's like
he was shooting to end people.
It's like when it's like the difference between like your sibling telling you to go do something and then your dad goes, go fucking do it now. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not going to listen to your brother. You're going to listen to your dad.
Not me.
Very entertaining videos, though.
Alright, we're at 104 right now, Eric. Why don't you tell the good people where they can find us online?
You can find us on Amazon Music, Spotify, Deezer, Ghana, TikTok at harmsway8993. I don't know why this is so hard for me right now. Instagram at harmsway podcast. Videos will be uploaded.
Uploaded?
Fuck off. Uploaded to YouTube at harmsway podcast.
Oi, right you are, mate.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
I'm really tired.
No, that's fine.
But I feel really good. This week's been going good. Hopefully.
Cool. Let's carry that momentum into the last 3 fucking Mondays of this week.
On Saturday, and I'll just be a mess.
Nah, you'll be all right. Well, give us a like, shout. I don't know what I mean by that. Give us a like, comment, share, listen. Just give us a try. First one's free. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know what you feel.
There's nothing wrong with window shopping. When you stop to buy, you get in trouble.
Other than that, we love you because you love us. Until next time, motherfuckers. Bye.
Bye.